Hey everybody, it's Bricoleur Bricks here again. You know what time it is. We got the AT-TE instructions ready to go. Once again, they are free, but if you want to show your support, I would love to have your subscription here on YouTube and your follow over on Instagram. So before you hit that link in the description, I did want to go through some sort of best practices for handling and building this thing because it is a bit fragile. So number one, when you're picking it up, one hand in the front, one hand in the back. That's the best way to do that. And when you're setting it back down, just be careful about having the middle feet straight up and down. If it's bent backwards, it could completely collapse and fall in when you set it down. Like I had said in my original video, the middle legs here are taking most of the weight, which means they're going to be under the most stress. And if you ever see them start to become detached from this area here where they connect to the main body, you can kind of almost do like a little chiropractor move where you just kind of squeeze them back in. And they will hold up. I had this thing built for about 3 weeks to a month and just sitting there, and it was standing fine on its own, so I do have a lot of confidence in its ability to support itself. So as far as building goes, there are a couple tricks and tips that I can show you. You'll see here I actually have this thing on a stand, and I like to do it that way because it just makes it a lot easier to put the legs on. It's really hard to put the legs on like one at a time and try and hold it or balance it while you're putting the other ones on. So I have these, actually they're like from the Lego monorail sets from way back in the day, but I figured they worked pretty nice to hold this thing up. And then you'll notice I also have this whole side panel off and the turret is off as well. And I'm going to show you the best ways to go about attaching those, because those are probably the 3 areas that it's most likely to break. So here we have this whole side panel assembly. If it ever breaks off, or the first time you're building it, all you have to do is get it back to how it is now with both this front and back area connected to this middle section. And all you have to do is line this hinge piece up with this little guy here, and it should just click right in. Give it a little push from the top, and there's your side panel. As far as the legs, you can flip the whole thing upside down and put the legs on like that. That is another option. I had both of those options listed in the instructions just kind of as a little reminder when you get to that section, when you get to the legs. All you got to do is just kind of swing it in there, clip it on. There's the back leg. And then you have these little dish pieces that are kind of like the covers for them. That just goes on there. And we got our front one. Then we have our middle leg, which is going to go right here. These 2 studs are going to hook up right here. All you got to do, this one is the most trickiest, but just kind of ease it on in there. Push it so it's secure, make sure it's straight. And then the very last part of the build is putting on the turret. So the turret obviously is going to go right here. This little clip goes into this bar, but you don't want to go straight down. You can go straight down if you're on a stand, but if you are trying to connect the turret while it's standing up by itself and you go straight down, it's going to collapse the whole thing because you're putting too much force on the top. So what I usually do is kind of go in from the side at an angle, kind of like roll it on, wiggle it a little bit, and there it is, nice and easy. Then if you're doing this method with the stands, to get it off, what I like to do is grab it by the front and the back, like I was saying earlier, and just tilt it to one side, and you can set it down out of frame here. There you have it. And when you set it down, make sure that you're on a flat surface. You can push these front and back legs down so they're touching the ground. That'll help it stay a little bit more balanced. Make sure your feet claws are all pushed down, and you should be good to go. So that's all I got for now. I hope you enjoy the build. Let me know what you think in the comments. Leave me a like, leave me a subscription, leave me a follow on Instagram. Appreciate the support, and I will have another video for you next week. Thanks.